From this to this. They've been defining rock for half a century, selling more than 100 million albums worldwide. Deep Purple have been through many different lineups since they started 50 years ago, but have settled on a solid combo with Ian Gillan, Ian Paice, Roger Glover, Steve Morse and Don Airey for the past 5 albums. Their new record Infinite is out now, ahead of the Long Goodbye tour that kicks off in May. Deep Purple, hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
The name of the new album and the name of the tour can only mean that you're going to get asked this question over and over and over again. Is this the end for Deep Purple?
Yes and no. Next.
Next.
Yes. See ya.
That day is coming. We know that. It's Roger once said we're closer to the end than the beginning. But none of us wants to stop. Let's get that on record. You know, we have too much fun. But there is a realization, and the reality smacks you in the face every morning when you look in the mirror. That
Who's that?
I know who he used to be. But, you know, we have to consider the point in sometime in the future where we won't be able to do what we have to do being Deep Purple. The Long Goodbye tour does leave us a little flexibility. We didn't say last. So as long as this tour takes to do, and if it's 2 years, it's great, and if it's longer, it's even better. We can then, and we will need a big holiday after that. And then we'll talk to each other and say, what do you want to do? What should we do now?
There could be another album then.
Another album, or maybe say, okay, we're not going to do a world tour again, but we might want 5-6 weeks next year, or that's it, don't want to do it anymore. But to plan a last gig, a last date, a last city, that's very frightening.
You can't live without each other now, can you?
Oh, yes,
Very easily. Yeah. At the moment, the vehicle we use to play our music is Deep Purple. Now, when that time comes at Deep Purple, it's no longer real, not there. It doesn't stop you don't stop playing music, you know. So there is no sort of like, oh God, that's the last gig and we'll never play again. But there's a point where Deep Purple won't play. So, you know, we play music because we enjoy it. The same way we did when we were children. We found that instrument, found that spark, found that interest. We make ourselves happy. And we still do that. So that doesn't change at all, you know.
Soliloquy. He's practicing for Shakespeare, you know.
Absolutely.
Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious
whatsoever.
summer by
All
the
right,
son of
calm down, calm down.
The last, this poor yoik, I knew him well.
Into the fire!
The music obviously is infinite, it's immortal. But how are you guys feeling about getting older, time passing?
Oh, I absolutely love it.
I'm loving it.
Oh, gorgeous, yeah.
It's great because people open doors for you.
You got a free bus pass?
I've got a bus pass, yeah.
I can get into movies, you know, senior citizens, thank you very much. Yeah.
Where I live, the younger guys who've moved into the village, they see me as some kind of, he's a rock star. So when they come in the pub, they don't know about pubs. They go, oh, can I buy you a drink, sir? I say, of course you can. And you don't have to buy a drink. There's great things about it, but...
No, getting old is a pain in the ass.
Yes.
Everything you used to take for granted, now you take as a miracle. You know, and you know, not just us, it's everybody goes through it. And youth is a fantastic thing, and everything you want to do, we do.
Far too good to waste on the young.
Yes, exactly. They don't deserve it.
No, they don't.
It's all little
Especially not today.
Not today, not the next world.
Young people today.
You made the most of it though, didn't you, your youth?
We had the best of it. You know, we came from a generation where the escape from reality was music. There was nothing else. Your relief from the week was Saturday night to see who you could see play live. Music is just part of what young people do now.
Oh, sorry. I've been listening to this all morning.
What do you think? I'm aging in front of your very eyes.
When you announced you're doing the Long Goodbye tour,
Yeah.
were there
Don't
any?
look at him, he only encourages him.
When you announced you were doing the Long Goodbye tour,
Yeah.
were there some former members who got on the phone and said, "Oh, can we join in?" Did they want a bit of the action?
Thankfully, no.
Well, what are they going to say? Can we come back in the band?
Can we join the band, please? No.
There is a rumour going round that was started apparently by John Lord, who said that it would be a dream if one day all the ex-members of Purple could be on the same stage together at the same time.
Eventually we will
actually-
be, but it won't be down here.
It's less, it's less of a dream than a nightmare, actually.
You better close your eyes. You better bow your head. Wait for the ricochet.
Lots of people talk about the past, Deep Purple's past. How much of the past is with you every day?
Hardly any, actually. We live in the now, the present and the next. The past is something that we carry with us, of course. All that stuff that happened in the 70s
Very happy about it, but
is never going to go away, and we're very proud of it. That's great. But we don't dwell on it. It really is the next gig, the next album, the next song. It's right now.
the next sunrise.
And there's been lots of.
If we're spared.
How's all the coming and going in the band affected over the years? I mean, you've been there since the very beginning,
Yeah.
and you've never left. You're on every album.
It's a calamity. Every time it happens, it's an absolute horror show. And when you look back at it, you think, how on earth did we let it happen? But hindsight is pointless. Bands are like that. You're asked to live in this artificial bubble where when you're going around the world, you're the only social circle you have. And you won't always see the world the same way.
Can I say something?
Yes, you can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I've forgotten now.
I don't know.
No, everyone that came into the band actually brought something positive and musical to the band. And I think that the whole idea of changing, even though maybe a bit too much in the old days, change is good. If we hadn't changed, if we'd stayed the same, I don't think it would have lasted this long.
You wouldn't have Don.
We wouldn't have met him, yeah.
Well, yes.
Well, I met him already, but...
I'm not going to say a word.
And Deep Purple's music has influenced so many other bands over the years. Why do you think that is, with hindsight, looking back now?
I saw the band when I was a student, a music student, and it had a profound effect on me. I'd never heard such a racket in the whole of my life. And you had do you remember the Dry Ice?
Yeah.
And they started off with Dry Ice, and Richie came out and started doing calisthenics against the earth. It was overwhelming. And I think that's what influenced so many musicians, that it was just so full on. You know, no quarter given, none asked for. And an element of that still continues now, I think.
After this many albums, though, how do you go about a new one?
Same way we did in the first one. It's an instrumental band with a vocal accompaniment. As
The way God meant it. The way God meant it to be.
So it always starts with sort of lots of jamming and fun. And you don't go in to make a record with finished songs. If I walked in and said, "Hey guys, I've got a demo of a song I've written. What do you think?" They'd tell me what they think. I'd be out of it. It's a collaborative process. We all share it, no matter who comes up with what, and riffs and everything. And it's just a pleasure, actually, just a real pleasure.
And for the new tour, how do you decide the set list? There must be so many songs. Everyone goes. They want to hear the old stuff, I'm sure. What do you do?
It's a juggling act.
We put all the names of the songs in a lottery thing. Roger carries it around, and we dip in. You know.
It's very difficult. It's a problem that actually has no solution.
No.
Because you can't please everyone. If we pleased everyone, it would be a 14-hour show.
Have you ever done a show without Smoke on the Water?
No.
I think once
Not
or
allowed,
twice.
surely.
Yeah, once or twice we
Once
did.
in the early days when someone in the band refused to play it, but that usually resulted in some kind of riot. It's true,
Not a great idea. No.
but no, I mean, it's not going to... People, the number one question is don't you get tired of playing Smoke on the Water? And yeah, actually, you don't. I mean, it's great fun and to see the audience reaction to it. The older we get, the younger the audience gets. So in a way, you're experiencing it through their ears and eyes.
Returning to the UK now to perform, has Brexit affected how you feel about the UK?
We all have, I'm sure we've got different feelings about it.
Yeah. I'm horrified about it. You know, for me, I mean, the world opened up when I first went to Europe, touring as a musician, and I saw, you know, the state that Europe was in compared to how Britain was. I mean, we were like a third world country back in the 70s. And joining Europe, for me, is the best thing that's ever happened to the UK. And it made touring so much easier. You know, that's when British rock and roll really took off, because we could just play wherever we wanted.
And I know you had tea with the former Russian president, Dmitry Medvedev. Any plans for tea with the new one?
He's auditioning next week for the trumpet part.
We don't make our politics public. I don't think that's an entertainer's job. I mean, there are some guys who think that you should use the platform to get their point across. I don't believe that's right.
As a band, you can do a lot of good. You know, say,
Don't take sides. Yeah.
if you go and play in a country where we're not kind of welcome, you know, it can build bridges. Seeing Gillan talks about what the Bolshoi ballet used to do for Russia. You know, the Bolshoi went everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And anybody who saw it went, this is amazing. You know, and everything you heard about Russia, all the bad things, you kind of weighed up against this amazing thing. So that's what you try to do. You're an ambassador for your country. You know?
Culture is beyond politics,
Yeah.
basically.
And
Very deep.
It is very deep.
Very deep.
Deep Purple. You've achieved so much. Is there anything left? Anything you still want to achieve?
I'd be able to open a CD cover in less than a minute. That's my big ambition at the moment.
It was designed by a sadomasochist, you know that?
There's always a will to write a better song, record a better performance, pushing forward all the time. I don't think there's anything particularly that we'd like to do, you know. Climb the Eiffel Tower from the outside doesn't come into it, you know.
Deep Purple, thank you so much for your company, and we'll see you back in Paris in June.
You
Fantastic.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks you. Bye-bye.